Hi, this is Trina from trinaholden.com, and today we're going to make our own mayonnaise. We're going to start with some eggs. These are farm fresh pastured eggs because I have access to that. You can just use whatever eggs you got. I'm going to separate a yolk, and I'm going to put a yolk in, and then I'm going to put a whole egg in. This recipe comes from my book, Real Fast Food. And I'm using my fancy Vitamix blender, but you do not need a fancy blender to make mayonnaise, because I'm going to be using it on one of the lowest settings. Okay, next we're going to do our spices. Now I use some mustard in my mayonnaise. You can use brown mustard from the store, or you can use powdered mustard. I'm going to use some of this today. I'm just going to squirt a little bit in there, not a lot. I really like a mild flavored mayonnaise. If you like something fancier, you can throw in more. And then ground pepper. And some people like to use like a white pepper so the flecks don't show. I just like fresh ground pepper. So I'm going to put some of that in there. And then we're going to use real salt. You can tell real salt because it's pink, it has flecks of stuff in there, and that shows you that all the nutrients are still in there. I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt for a single batch of mayonnaise. Okay, and then we're going to do lemons. Now, I have fresh lemons today, so I'm going to use that. But I make a lot of my own salad dressings and stuff, and lemon juice is a key ingredient, so I also keep this in the fridge. And that way, you know, you always have it on hand in case you're out of lemons. So I'm just going to squeeze a little lemon juice here and pour that in there. And now that's most of the ingredients, and the rest is just the oils. A lot of recipes call for olive oil, but I find that makes a very strong flavor, and I'm not a fan of the flavor of olive oil. So what I do is I do a blend. And I'll use a little olive oil, and I'll use some sunflower oil. And you can see I'm just making a blend here. And I'm going to use some sesame oil. And that's what you can do if you don't like the flavor of your mayonnaise. You can mix the oils, and that way you're still using all good oils, but no one flavor stands out. I also am going to use some coconut oil. This is the coconut oil I recommend. It's from Green Pastures. It's organic, virgin, but I melted it so that it can go right in as a liquid. Okay, so we have about a cup of oils here. And we're going to add that slowly to the blender. Oh, and we also have sugar. If you like a more Cool Whip, if you're more of a Cool Whip gal, then you're going to want to put a little bit of sugar in your mayonnaise. So I'm just going to put a little of this in here because my man likes Cool Whip. Okay, it's just a little sweetener. And now we're ready to add the oils. So we're going to turn this on at a very low speed. And the idea is to add the oils slowly. So I'm going to start with a very, very small, almost a drop at a time stream here. And as I add more, I might get good to go a little faster. But basically, this is the secret to mayonnaise, is adding it slowly as you blend it. You can just see I'm just adding a little bit at a time. Different has happened because it's a lot quieter now. The mayonnaise is thickening, it's emulsifying, and it's almost getting to be a solid. So as I add the last oil, the mayonnaise has thickened and it's no longer a liquid. It's like pudding thickness, and you almost can't see my blades anymore. And that's when you know it's done. It's emulsified. And so there's my mayonnaise. Sometimes it turns out a little thicker, but this is fine because that's one of the reasons I put the coconut oil in there, is once it gets refrigerated, it thickens up solidly. Now this can be used right as is, but something that I do is I add whey, and that helps inoculate it. It helps keep the bacteria of the raw eggs. It balances it out and makes the friendly bacteria count higher so that the mayonnaise lasts longer in the fridge, because this will last about a week, but if you put whey in it, it will last a month. So that I like to throw a little whey in. Now I usually make my whey with raw milk, but I don't have any this week, so what I did was I plopped some homemade yogurt. You can use store-bought or homemade, doesn't matter. And I plopped some of that in a strainer. And what I have here is whey. That's whey. That's got so much good friendly bacteria in it. And so I'll put that, a little bit of that in here, just a tablespoon or two. And then I'll mix it up again. And then my mayonnaise is done. I'll put it on the counter for about 7 hours, and that allows it to start for the good bacteria to build and grow, and then I'll pop it in the fridge, and then my mayonnaise is done.